Hey there, Deadheads. Gerhard here again with another exciting box set of live Grateful Dead music. And before I get started, before I show you the box, I want to give you a little bit of backstory. It's currently May 8th, 2022 when I'm recording this, so 45 years ago today, there was a pretty famous show up in New York, upstate New York in Cornell, that you might have heard about. If you haven't heard it, obviously check it out, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your Grateful Dead music, because it is a classic, Cornell 77. But, because it's the anniversary of Cornell 77, we're all thinking about that spring 1977 tour. I'm currently, reviewing and revisiting the entire Europe 72 tour, and so I'm in that Europe 72 space, but of course have to drop in a little bit of 1977, spring 1977 as well. I've shown this to you guys before from the Dave's Picks trading card series. See if that'll find focus. Doesn't want to. But here's a blurry, the trading card for Dave's Picks number 1. There we go. The Mosque, Richmond, Virginia, with that beautiful artwork by Scott McDougall on the other side. Here it is in large format. It finally came. You will recall the orders for that went live back in October of last year, so we've all been waiting for a long time for this edition of 5,000 of the vinyl box set, 5 LP box set, 9 sides of music, and then a 10th bonus side, which I'll show you guys in this video. Really exciting stuff. And another little piece of ephemera or a little knickknack. I don't know if it's really a knickknack, but this CD that came in the mail about 3 months ago. There we go, get in focus. And so this is the night after Dave's Picks 1, and that's Dave's Picks 41. And so we've got Richmond, Virginia, and then we've got Baltimore, Maryland, 2 just powerhouse back-to-back shows that really showcase that May 1977, that spring 1977 tour that we all know and love, and we've all been fans of for quite some time. And so I don't have the CD of this box set. That CD was, the first release in the Dave's Pick series. That came after the Road Trip series, which came after, of course, Dick's Picks, that Dick Latvala led back in the day. So we had 36 editions of Dick's Picks. And now, as of this week, we were at 42 CD sets of Dave's Picks. And this was the OG. This was 2012. It first came out, and it's funny if we look at the back of one of this year's Dave's Picks. They're an edition of 25,000 these days, which still feels limited. They still sell out right away. But back in the day, it was an edition of 12,000. They weren't sure how well they would sell. Maybe the Road Trip series wasn't flying off the shelves like Dick's Picks were. And so they did 12,000, and they've been ramping it up year over year. And then for the vinyl, it's a little bit pricier than a CD set. And so we have an edition of 5,000 here. So really exciting stuff, really cool stuff, and some really interesting and funny little pieces along the way as we go through this box set. Let me just shake it open. It's tightly. Oh, before I showcase what's inside, I do want to talk about the packaging, because this is an unboxing video. Packaging was pretty lame on this one. I was expecting something a little bit more tightly put together total package. If you think about those annual big CD box sets, those archival release box sets that they do every single year, they do custom cardboard mailers, which are cool. It's a nice little touch that they do, a really nice piece along the way, and that's because those CD box sets are always, weird sizes. They're not standard jewel case, CD case, digipack sizes, and so they do those custom mailers, and it makes sense. For this one, this is not a custom box set size. It's a fairly standard 5 LP box set size, but they sent it in a massive box with these little styrofoam corners to kind of keep it in place, and it didn't keep it in place. This was posted on Reddit earlier this week, and I'm not the only one who's a little bit disappointed in how this was packaged. Now, luckily, I don't have any seam splits, any dinged corners, or any God forbid, scratched records. But I've seen a few people having a lot of issues with this box set, and for being an edition of 5,000, I really hope Grateful Dead Productions has a few, kept in the catalog, kept in the back stock for replacements, because they're going to need them for this one. So when we open this up, we've got our pretty standard 5 LP box set. Like I said, liner notes are very funny on this one. I'm going to put that up on the screen as well. But before I do, we've got our liner notes. Pretty standard. It's a reprint of the original 2012 liner notes, and written by Blair Jackson. But what is really funny about these liner notes, there's a call out to the spring 1977 tour, and specifically May 1977, calling out the Big Kahuna, May 8th at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. The master reels of that last show, sad to say, are not in the Grateful Dead vault, but excellent sounding soundboard versions of that justifiably famous evening have been in circulation for years. Now, you say, how could this be true? We know that 5/8/77 is one of the most sought-after vinyl box sets of Grateful Dead live music. And then the night after that is also quite sought after up in Buffalo. That green box set that came out a couple of years ago as part of a Record Store Day release. That's because we have to remember, this is 2012, and those Betty boards were not added back into the Grateful Dead vault until about 2017. They were still stashed in a barn, rotting in the hot sun for years and years and years before they were added back into the Grateful Dead vault. And so when this was released, those famous shows, a lot of those famous Betty boards, some of our favorites within the Grateful Dead fan community, were lost. We didn't know that they existed. So a little bit of, funny back in the day trivia was that those weren't in the vault at the time. Now, of course, pretty standard sleeves. Really beautiful label on this with the Dave's Picks and that spacey label. A little bit of trivia that I forgot to mention is that all of this spaciness is because this was the same day that the first Star Wars movie came out. So we got the lightsaber on the cover, and I'll go back to that, but I'm also going all the way to the last record. I'll show you the last record. I said it's 9 sides of music. The 10th side is this etching. I'll give you a little close-up of that etching. Beautiful etching showing the beautiful Star Wars artwork that is featured on the front of the box. Another little interesting piece right here, the Mosque in Richmond, Virginia, corner of Main Street and Laurel in Richmond, Virginia, right there on Virginia Commonwealth University campus. Now, I spent quite some time on Virginia Commonwealth University campus back in my college days. Beautiful theater, Moorish Revival Theater, beautiful, built by the Shriners in the 1920s, was sold to the city a couple decades later, and was famous performances by all sorts of musicians there. Bruce Springsteen played there, Elvis Presley played there, a whole bunch of musicians that passed through Richmond, Virginia, played there. So a little bit of Richmond history and Richmond lore at the Mosque, which later became the Landmark Theater. I believe nowadays it's called the Altria Theater, and Donald Fagen and the Steely Dan Band played there about a few months ago, I think. Maybe it was the end of last year, earlier this year. So a little bit of trivia there, and it's still an active, in use theater. Beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to see a concert there in Richmond, Virginia, I would highly recommend it. And so that's it for Dave's Picks 1, going back in history. The box set. Now, it leads to a question of, what comes next? Is this going to become an annual release series where they go in order, similar to the old release model of the Dick's Picks box sets on vinyl? I believe it was Brookvale. I might be getting that wrong. Brookvale was releasing. They released, I believe, either the first 6 or the first 8 before Real Gone took over, and they started just doing a scatter shot of releasing whichever one was their favorite at the time, and breaking from order. So really curious to see what comes next for the Dave's Pick series on vinyl. Would love to see them continue to release these. And then the next unboxing video that we've got, the next Grateful Dead release that's in the hopper or kind of planned, is coming out in June. They have their 50th anniversary edition of the Europe 72 album, that famous triple album on rainbow vinyl. So really interested to see and hear, those 50th anniversary releases are always on super heavyweight audiophile grade vinyl. My personal copy of Europe 72 is an original. I inherited it from my dad, and it is cooked. It is just scuffed, in terrible shape. It really does not sound very good. And so I'm excited to have, the copy with all the memories that belong to my dad, and then my copy that's going to sound, I'm sure, perfect, because they always do when they come out with these new 50th anniversary releases. Additionally, and I will link this in the corner here, but also down below, hasn't been announced anywhere, but I saw poking around the other day on Elusive Disc, on Acoustic Sounds, and even on Jeff Bezos' e-commerce company. You know which one I'm talking about. A pre-order is live for mid-July. They're re-releasing that summer 1990 So Glad You Made It box set. So it's, I believe, a 4 LP compilation box set that highlights the best of that spring 1990 So Glad You Made It CD set. So that's a, multiple big CD set. I think it's like 4 or 5 shows. I listened to that about a year ago. Fantastic box set. But they're doing the vinyl, the LPs, once again going back into production. And so make sure that you snag that while you can, because those are hard to come by these days. If you dig on Discogs, if you dig on eBay, you can spend a lot of money to get the last round that they produced. But to be able to snag that at retail, I'm going to recommend that. And of course, when that comes in, I don't have that in my collection right now. When that comes in, I'll do an unboxing of that as well. So thank you very much for joining me once again. I hope you got your copy of Dave's Picks, Volume 1, The Mosque in Richmond, Virginia. And I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Have a good one.